It's like, you fucking wait there. Kind of goes out of the shed, gets the extension cord. Oh, fuck, it's a 15 amp. You fucking don't go anywhere. You gets a new cord. Yeah, plugs the cunt in, runs it up. It's in the fucking worst knot you can imagine. Oh, gets it out there.
In the worst knot you can imagine.
Runs it out the front.
Gets it almost all the way out there. Fuck, I have to take the other knot out.
Long, so
runs
he
back.
has to go back, run it through itself, and then he finally gets there, and the dude's bailed.
The professional layman.
Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck yeah.
I'm glad you liked episode 1 and episode 1.
Yeah. Episode 1, part B.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking just call it the first and then the second first.
Welcome back to the professional layman.
To the third first. Welcome back to the professional layman's, ladies and gentlemen. TPL podcast. I am one half of your excellent hostage, Bert Kilder.
I'm the other half.
Yeah, joining me today is my other half,
Yeah.
Jesse, and I do mean that in a sexual way as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite literally my other half. I can't be
partners.
I can't be away from him more than like 10 seconds without my dick just exploding with jizz.
It's not even a quarter chub, boys.
Just in anticipation of seeing those beautiful glazed blue ocean-like eyes.
I just love how those bowls are always full.
Always full, man.
They're always full.
Always full. They're ready to be pickled. Ready to be scooped.
Today, guys.
Oh shit! Today, guys, we've got a special one for you. I mean, yeah, we are 3 episodes in, but we thought we'd take the opportunity. We'll go with the little plan that we've had for the show for a while, and that is, if you've been listening, then the whole idea of the show is obviously we want to get you laid with what's her name?
Sandra.
Kate.
Kate this time.
Yeah,
oh,
Kate.
Okay.
Kate this time. So you're at work. You got this fucking hot as fuck coworker, right? Kate, right?
Yeah.
Blonde, beautiful. You know, she's at.
Well, she doesn't work with you. She's at the cafe, floor underneath. But everyone visits there to get coffee every single morning.
Exactly, and everyone's better off in just trying to get into like someone who doesn't work directly with you, because that's just going to cause problems.
Exactly.
It's just going to cause problems.
And I mean, you didn't like coffee, but now you do.
Oh, I fucking love.
Now you're
coffee.
fucking addicted.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, and your Hebrew mum is like, dude, why are you drinking coffee though? I told you your whole upbringing not, and you're like, yeah, but Kate.
Shalom, mum. It's kosher. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we're going to try a bit of a different format this time around, because we actually have a guest in the studio.
We have a layman, you could say.
We have a layman, you could say. So joining us today, the first ever layman of the pod, Samwise. Give a little fairy clap for Samwise.
It is an honour.
Yeah, no,
it's an honour to join Bert and Jesse.
Yeah, it should be a fucking. Hey,
as the first layman.
Yeah, the first layman. So the idea
I'm sure when this is as big as other podcasts out there, like Michelle Obama's,
we're just above her.
Above her.
I'll be able to say this. I'll be able to wear this like a badge of honour. I was the first guy on that show. I was the first guest.
We're currently working on poaching all of her sponsors as well.
Yeah.
Like we need that fucking military industrial complex cash, man. We need that shit, boys.
Back it up, boys. You guys are a few signatures away from Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would be a good acquisition, I think.
You need a few signatures, though, to be honest.
You do. It's like one of those nuclear keys.
We keep going back to the board, and they keep saying, you need a few more. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we're just going to have to shit on their dicks a bit, I think, if it comes to that. I mean, we are soulless corporatists, capitalists, if you will.
Capitalists.
Capitalists is probably the better word.
Corporate capitalists.
Corporate capitalists, if we're going to be...
Did we just invent a political cartoon word?
Fuck yeah. Let's hit up Stone Toss, though.
We did.
Fuck yeah. We'll be all over that.
Well, Samwise the layman.
Samwise the layman. So the point of a layman on this show, obviously the show's called The Professional Laymans, and you might be wondering, okay, he's a layman. What exactly makes him a layman? Well, just because we're a bit fucked in the head and we don't know what words mean. Basically, a layman is anyone who's very professional in their profession, as you might imagine.
We try to pick the best of the best.
Yeah,
for you guys to listen to. Basically, the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop, the pre-cum on the
I'm the full shot.
Exactly.
I'm the full ropey.
He's the full 2 teaspoons.
Yep.
And give him enough time, he will get 748 ejaculations out for us.
I'm talking clinical amounts.
or like sperm donor. Like,
I'm talking sperm donor
like
stuff. Where they go, you don't.
72% of the sperm donor research center's stock, basically. is what
I
they're
have
saying.
got countless children out of there.
And he visits less than anyone else.
Yeah.
It's about quantity, not quality.
Did I pay you well for that? did I pay you well for that?
I get paid in the fact of just knowing that I'm doing my ancestors justice of just sending as much as I can of myself out there.
Fuck, man, we've got a Monday Genghis Khan over here. Fuck yeah.
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 Just populates 3/4
And one
of the
day,
world
hopefully,
straight up.
your wife can be populated with this beautiful layman sperm.
Hey, man,
You could do a lot better.
he wouldn't even need to ask, man. I'd just be like, hey, babe, spread your legs open. Here comes Samwise.
Yep.
You know, he's the most professional. What is he actually professional
What
in?
exactly are you?
Yeah.
I am a plumber.
He's
Yep.
a plumber by trade. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a plumber on, and this is literally what the layman's session is about. It's Samwise is a plumber.
You may be thinking, what the fuck do I want to learn from a plumber? Well,
Have you ever taken a
boy.
shit?
Yeah.
Have you ever drunk water? Bam.
yeah.
Bang.
Have you ever used gas?
Have you ever
to-
used gas?
to do anything? I think. Yeah.
Have you ever had a fucking shower?
Yeah.
Ever washed your hands? Probably not,
Just
because you're
yet.
listening to this.
Have you ever shut down your tap handles way too tight, and then had to get a plumber in to actually just replace them, even though it's probably the easiest job ever, and you could do it yourself and not have to pay. How much is it?
Funnily enough, no,
No.
because it's connected to a municipal water supply.
Oh,
So,
so
no, you're not
so
allowed
the
to
government
do so.
will shit down your throat if you do, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
By the
seems-
law, yes. But
seems
then
pretty-
people also aren't allowed to connect their water supplies before their water meters, but they do. And it's classic.
What's the
So what exactly happens in that case?
In the case
Yeah.
of before
Oh,
the water
yeah,
before
yeah.
the water meter, you get free water.
Okay.
So what people will
Oh,
do,
right,
what
I
people will
see.
do is they'll dig down and cut the pipe, and while it's live, because you can't turn it off because the water valve, the mains shut the streets off. You see, that's how people used to fill up their
While
pools.
it's live,
Yeah, it's not a whole lot
Yeah.
of flow. It's a 3/4 inch line. There's not a whole lot of flow. You'll
So
get
you-
some-
you get a
Sure.
shower too.
You get a free shower. You get a free hand wash, which in COVID is more important than ever.
Yes,
Of course.
It's and we're all about respect. We've got social distancing here.
It reminds me of that Deadall ad where it's like, we have to protect our next generation. We have to take care of our kids and love one another, and we'll all get through this together if you purchase our hand soap.
Especially if you're cutting into main water lines as well,
Yeah,
because
and
that's where the purest form of water comes from. Is that correct?
Completely unfiltered
Yeah.
from the ground.
Raw.
As
Straight from the ground.
Raw
water.
water.
Raw
Raw
water.
water.
Did-
Exactly.
Raw water.
Oh,
man.
you,
Yeah.
you knew that was a thing in like
in the US.
fucking
Yeah.
hipster California at one
Yep.
point. Yeah. Oh,
You can always trust California to come up with.
by the way, we're just gonna address the very loud elephant in the room. We got fuckhead over here. Hey,
His name's Abro.
what the fuck was your name again? Cunt.
Hey, bro.
We have an audience. If the audience would
It's
please
a-
speak
I
up.
think-
It had,
Is-
it had
hang on,
it
hang
had
on, just
something to do
2
with
seconds.
kissing men.
Is audience a permanent plural? You can't have a singular audience, can you? Audience, by definition, means
You can have an audience member.
Audience.
audience member. True, yeah.
Is audient a word?
Yeah, I just made it.
What about audientry?
That sounds like Spanish for fucking automatic entry to a shop or something.
Oh, dientry.
Well, that's Italian.
Hey,
well, that's
oh,
more
yeah,
Italian.
that is
but
Italian,
That,
yeah.
it makes
What's
more
Spanish?
sense. You walk in.
Audientry.
Audient. It's actually close to the German word for entry, which is entry.
Is that where we got it from?
Probably.
Well, you wouldn't know you're a plumber.
Wouldn't have a clue.
Well, no,
But we should ask you plumber questions.
we should actually. Okay, so
Yeah.
one thing that's been on my mind ever since we knew that we were going to do this is that what we should really just start off with is like just the most pertinent and important questions that we could probably ask you. So I'm
What
gonna
will the people want to know?
exactly. So I think the most important thing we need to ask you right now
Fire away, but
is what is the most fucked up thing you've done at your job so far?
so the most fucked up thing I've done. This is a tie.
Or handled, or whatever, yeah.
This is. I know exactly what you mean because it's a common question of someone in my profession in lieu of a more realistic word.
Or do you pick up shit with your hands?
I do. I have done, in fact.
Yeah.
It's how I mess with just a side note. That's how I mess with Sparkies. When we lift up shit pumps, they isolate them for us. I pick up shit. I've got gloves on, but it's still pretty gross. Sometimes, like a proper shit that hasn't been in the tank yet, it'll just fall out, and it's happened to fall on the top of the pump.
Oh, nice.
So we'll pull up the macerator, and it's
solid.
literally a solid. It is a shit. It is a bona fide fair dinkum 7'4" Maori scaffolder shit, right? So we'll lift it up, and I will pick up this shit, and I will be holding it like a fucking like a rock, and I'll just squelch it in between my fingers and drop it back in. And I've had electricians nearly throw up, which is hilarious.
You do it with your bare hands, right?
I've got gloves on,
Oh,
but it's still gross. I feel everything. Now back to the question: What was
the
most fucked up?
So the most fucked up thing I've dealt with, and the most fucked up thing that's happened to me, are tied. So I'll say both stories. So I'll start with.
Shoot it right at us.
I'll start with the worst thing that's happened to me is when I was doing my apprenticeship down in Perth. I worked for. He was really old and grumpy, so naturally I did most of the shit parts of the job, which was most of the job. We used to do what's called sewer conversions. We would convert old houses in Perth that were been on septic tanks for 50, 60 years in some suburbs to the main drains. So if septic systems work correctly, you don't need to pump them out. They might need a pump out they might need 2 pump outs in 50 years.
How often do they work correctly?
Fairly often, because back then, like everything, it was built properly and done properly,
and people took time.
Exactly. So we're at the back of this house in Spearwood, which is near.
If anyone knows Perth, that's a good spot to be.
If anyone knows Perth, yeah, it's not a bad spot. It's mainly old people, which is because of all the old houses.
Spearwood Hungry Jacks is pretty good. There's a lot of interesting things. I'm not talking about the food either. There's just a lot of interesting.
Spearwood Subway, man, is one of the best subways I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about as well.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty decent. Yeah.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
And there's a hairdresser called Clockwork Orange.
Is there really?
There is. It's pretty cool.
Are they any good?
Inside the
I
subway.
don't know. Nah, man. It's like
do they feed you milk before?
No, so you go get a sandwich and someone cuts your hair.
That's fucking awesome. That is
sick.
revolutionary.
That's really cool.
We should have him on.
That's really cool, actually.
Get him on, yeah.
Actually, no, you're telling me about this guy, right? He'd just been
Subcuts.
He'd just been in business for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and and he what did he give you? He gave you like a whole bunch of product or something, right?
Yeah, he gave me fucking heaps of sandwiches and hair clippings.
Oh, right.
Man, beautiful.
No, I'm confusing him with someone else. Yeah, right.
You might be.
Yeah, I think I might be, yeah.
So you were doing a sewer conversion.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm doing a sewer conversion. So naturally, we dig up the backyard to find the old septic tanks. We dig it up. The procedure is we get the tip of the excavator and you pitch the bucket in a way that rips up the lid. And you rip it up and it falls in the bottom.
And the lid's a solid as.
It is
made
a
out of
solid
concrete, like
100 kilo plus
100
concrete
kilos,
lid. So
yeah.
you can't maneuver it gracefully.
So it flips the lid off of the septic tank.
That's a great way to put it, maneuvered.
It essentially flips it up, maneuvers it out, and it drops to the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's getting filled in and decommissioned. Anyway, so we dug it up, and this one was oddly deep. So usually they're only about 30 centimetres below the lawn, 300 millimetres for the men out there. And so you dig it up. And you would expose it and get the lids down, and then you'd kind of suss out what was in there, which was usually shit. And then you get the boom of the excavator, and you'd swirl it up a bit so the truck can come in and suck it out.
So you're literally just like stirring
with the excavator.
With the excavator.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
Right.
Bucket on.
Bucket on, yeah. So just stirring it up and mixing.
Yep.
Mixing. So this is a seal.
Spoon that shit out. Fuck yeah.
You've got like a wet mouth.
Our poor editor. You're right, bro. You need 5.
Are you serious?
Dude, sometimes I'm okay with stuff, and sometimes I like.
Oh, you wait.
I really imagine.
So for those of you who aren't in the studio, the editor.
Our poor editor.
Our poor editor is not a fan. He's getting a bit queasy, which is hilarious. When I get to the second story, this is going to be amazing.
Also, this is our editor, Ed, by the way. We didn't even introduce him.
Yes, we will be having a proper introductory episode with our boy Ed very soon.
No.
Yes, we will.
He's just a client.
I remain in the shadows.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the shadows is where we can get you.
We'll see what the
Shadows,
listeners
that's
think,
right.
eh?
What?
We'll see what the listeners want.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes, you were stirring shit
Anyway,
with the
so
next
Please
photo.
continue to post stirring.
Yep.
so we're stirring the shit. Okay, cool. So we get to a point. Cool, we get smoko. So lift the boom out and hose it off. Standard.
Let's eat.
Standard. Well, yeah, that's it. We've just broken the seal on a crust of shit that my grandfather's dad may have shat in.
What did it look like? Like just the fucking layer on top.
Oh yeah, it's a solid mass.
Was it fungal?
No. It's because of the bugs. So the way it works.
Oh, right, so they decompose it, right?
Correct.
So
yeah.
is
There's
there a massive
bacteria in
release
there,
of
that's how it
bugs when
works.
you open it up?
Cockroaches, fuck
Cockroaches,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
If
and
you
they're
could
like
estimate
albino.
quickly, how many do you think you would have seen in one frame? Like 1,000? Yeah.
It is a C. Have you seen The Mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the scarabs when
Oh,
they
yeah,
emerge?
okay, I got that image
Yeah,
in my
that.
head now. Oof.
That is exactly what it's like.
I'm sure they're fucked up enough they'll swarm you and eat you.
And they're
as well.
gross, and some of them are albino because they've literally never seen sunlight.
I don't know why the albino cockroach got me, but it just...
They probably
man.
taste really
a,
good.
That was an
Yeah.
unforced gag.
man.
What the fuck?
So anyway, so we're at that point now. We go have smoko. So yeah, we go have a lovely feed. We wash our hands with plain water, and we go have a feed. So we come back, and I'm now assessing how we're going to connect. So here was one of my mistakes. Yeah, the way we excavated it, a bit of the bottom fell off.
A bit of the bottom of
So
the...
it went. So there's a hole. Yeah.
Yep.
So on one of the sides, we hadn't excavated it fully. So there was lawn, but then nothing under the lawn
Oh.
because the ground had
no.
caved in while we were at smoko. So I've walked up to the lawn and stood on the lawn and fallen in.
Nah, dude.
So-
Nah, dude.
So
Nah,
I have
dude.
realised as soon as I stepped on it and noticed my brain
What has happened?
what has happened, I managed to grab some grass and I've stopped myself from falling in. But I fell in on my left leg up to my groin.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. So it was like quick shit.
No. Well, actually,
Kinda.
it behaves the exact same as mud.
Oh, God.
Gross,
Funnily enough,
gross, septic, poisonous mud.
How deep did you say it was?
Up to my groin, on my left
No,
leg.
no,
up to
but
my
the
groin.
actual
Oh, the
tank.
tanks are about... Some of them are about 1.5 to 2 meters deep.
So you really... If you didn't grab anything, you could...
Yes, I could have fallen in, yeah.
Like,
You just had
literally
a bit
head
of a
to
swim,
toe.
really.
Correct.
Jesus.
Correct. And there's baffles down the bottom, so not only that, I would
What the
have...
fuck's a baffle?
Baffles are little concrete slats. Little concrete inserts.
Oh, what? And they stick up, do they?
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they all get decrepit as time goes on. They rot. So I would have knocked down and smashed my leg and cut it in the septic tank, which is obviously not ideal.
Not ideal.
Not at all. So I get out and I am fucking absolutely beside myself, yeah. As you can imagine.
I mean,
And how
you're
was the,
basically covered
so
up to
my-
your dick and shit.
So back to my boss. He was an old school plumber.
So it was just you and the boss on site?
It was only us in the company.
Right.
Yeah.
And how was his reaction?
He was like, "Oh, idiot."
Good on him.
Straight out.
I'm talking.
Old people are the best, man.
I'm talking proper. He was 68 when I worked for him, so he'd
Got
be at
caught by
least
the
They are
best by the
proper
sounds of it.
savage, yeah.
he'd be at least 75 now, probably. Still on the tools too. The fucking hectic cunt. And he's
fuck.
gone, "Oh, hose yourself off. Hurry up. We got to get this done."
Jesus. Didn't even hose you down.
I got no sympathy at all. I got absolutely no sympathy at all. So I am absolutely livid now. I'm pissed off that it's happened. I'm pissed off at myself for making a fucking rookie mistake. In our field, that's a rookie mistake. You fucking be very careful when you're walking around open septic systems.
I mean, the consequences are pretty...
The consequences can
pretty
be
apparent,
very
yeah.
bad. Man.
Yeah.
If I had a cut on my leg, it's bang. You got fucking ultra AIDS.
Just straight...
It's
just
like
some crazy variant of just...
it's
it gets
Ultra
carried...
AIDS.
Ultra AIDS gets carried by albino cockroaches.
dude,
like-
if there's albino cockroaches, I don't want my bare shit in there. I don't want that in my body. I think that's fair enough. So I hosed myself off.
swimming in your bloodstream.
So I hosed myself off. And then I wasn't satisfied that had cleaned it correctly. So we get, there was, for all intents and purposes, some hand sanitizer. It was alcohol gel.
Yeah.
But you used to use it. It had the crocodile on it, that one.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Icecol.
essentially, that's icicle, yeah.
By the way, best solution to clean your bong with. That's
Water,
just a
I believe
side
they're water pourers.
note. Oh, yeah, sorry, excuse me, water pourers.
Yes.
Water pourers, yeah.
That's correct.
as that brief sad history in whenever it was, what, like 2014?
13, 14.
As a very quick side note, in Western Australia, bongs out of everything were made illegal to possess, and obviously, to get around that, people would just start buying oil and water pourers. They literally just had the cone piece glued on upside down, and there's your water pourer. Yeah. You can use it for your salad dressing, is what they said on the.
You sure can. You can also use it to smoke your salads.
In every small town, there is one nana who has an oil pourer.
Yep.
That is not an oil pourer.
That her grandchild can then use as a last resort.
It's how Nonna...
Oh, hey, Nan, love your oil pourer.
Love that one, eh?
It's how... excuse me. It's how Nonna pours her vinaigrette.
Exactly.
Anyhow.
Sorry, continue.
Please continue.
So, I now am completely... I'm just washing myself off of shit, and I get the Isaco alcohol. I'd empty this fucking bottle. I absolutely demolished this.
So
bottle.
let me set the scene. You're covered in shit right up to your left nut.
Yep.
Are you wearing overalls?
No.
Are you wearing shorts?
You're in shorts, man.
Right,
I was in shorts. My boots, my socks.
What kind of shorts? We're talking khaki.
I'm talking the
style.
kind of thing Scotty Cam would wear to the pub at 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
After a
That's
hard
pretty
day.
fucking short.
After a hard day of pretending to be a tradesman.
Now, have you got boots on?
I have boots on.
And have you got boot coverings?
No.
Over it?
Shit,
No.
no.
So
it's getting
your
your shoes.
boots are
My
full of
boots
shit.
are full of shit. My socks and my feet as well.
If you could estimate the age of the shit that you were covered in, on average, how old do you think overall it would be?
The house was built before World War II.
Nah, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
it
you
was the same guy's
Oh,
been there
man.
his whole life, and he was 84. And he was there when they built the house.
Fuck, you'd meet some interesting people. Though,
We
wouldn't you?
met.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another story.
Okay.
I'll tell.
alright.
Yeah, so bank that one.
Yeah, bank that one.
So
Banked.
I've cleaned
In
my
my
leg
rectum.
to a moderately sufficient standard. I am completely burning because I've just emptied isocol.
Oh yeah, so it's fucking.
I'm in pain. I'm not loving the situation.
So you
at all.
basically just put a bunch of shit on you, and it's just like, no, it's alright. It's just like evaporating off your skin.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're getting
evaporating
fucked up,
and it's
but yeah.
burning, and I feel like it's reacting with something in the tank. Oh man! And anyway, so I get it off, get it clean, and I'm like, that was the most hectic fucking thing that's ever fucking. I never want to do it again. And at that point, my boss has gone, and I quote, "Hurry up, you little cunt! Stop whinging."
it's just a
Hey,
little bit
standard,
of
man,
shit.
standard.
I have nothing but respect for that man. He would clear what we call a disconnector gully. So it's basically a little S-bend that you got under your sink. It's that, but outside. It's designed. Many fixtures run into it, and it's got just an open drain that goes into a drain. He would clear that out with his bare hands. Get his hands in there, and it'd be kitchen waste. It'd be gross, and he'd wash his hands under a tap, and then he'd have a sandwich.
And just
So the worst thing about
yeah.
if you
no soap, no.
no, didn't have that.
Oh no,
back in the
fuck
day.
no. Who fucks with soap? Yeah.
I have a question. What was his? Did he have a general lunch, like a daily lunch, like
His
his
daily
favorite?
lunch was a sandwich that his lovely wife cooked, prepared for him.
I bet she was a fucking sweetheart as well.
She was probably lovely.
She was one of the nicest, sweetest women I've ever seen, and she always told me every time I went, "Don't mind him, he's got a good heart," and he did.
It's
He
funny
was-
that it's funny like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're always
She
with
was
just
fucking
fucking
sweetheart.
absolute.
She was-
Well, you kind
sweethearts,
of got to be sweet to put up
She
with
was-
the smell of shit, don't you?
Yeah, that's
She
right.
was
24/7.
an absolute darling. Yeah. Excuse me. The second part of the
You
question.
want to retake that, mate?
I do.
It's not
Yeah.
very professional of you.
Yeah, I know. I've
He's a
actually
layman
got-
for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
Joe, I'm gonna be there soon. I'm doing this other thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I've done DMT.
yes.
Thank you.
No. So I do apologise. I'm tired.
You did say you had another story.
I did, so
So
the
that's
second
the
part
worst
of
thing
that-
that's happened to you. What is this one?
So this one is so I don't. Side note, I don't vomit. I vomit when I've got gastro and I'm sick. I don't vomit for gross shit. I don't
Right.
vomit for things in my job that most people would not even
I
think about.
think getting dick
And that's
deep
what makes
in,
you the best in your
getting dick deep in shit would make most people vomit. So I think the fact you didn't is pretty good testament to
This time, I vomited.
Mm.
This time, I vomited. So we were at this was in Maida Vale, which is the northern suburbs of Perth.
They would have been built earlier than the...
All early, yeah. All
yeah.
really old. So
Fuck
Midland.
yeah.
Midland was the first Perth suburb.
So this is real old.
Midland,
Yeah.
Mayland, that kind of northern,
Yeah.
north
Back when they were
eastern
building
area,
ports.
northeastern area, yeah, northwestern area and shit. So we're at Maida Vale. We were doing a job for this guy who was alright. He was good enough, man. He was alright, but he was an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, like a real alcoholic, like a
Right.
proper lost his fucking life alcoholic.
And their shit might have a scent, right?
Kids don't talk to him. Wife doesn't talk to him, like that kind of shit.
Right.
He was like he'd done permanent damage.
Yeah, so that's how far gone he's gone.
He was like fucked. Like he looked like a junkie.
Shaking
But he was sober,
Like
but
he's,
he was
he's,
just
he's chewing like a Thornley crackhead.
he
Like,
was
basically.
mate. The Thornley crackheads were asking him to chew quieter, and he was and he's sitting there, watching us basically, just offering us a drink every now and then. I didn't take it because I'm like, nah. So he,
No, mate, I'm at work. It's 11 in the morning. I don't want your fucking leftover beers, mate. I know you can't drink anymore. I'm not going to drink for you. Bit like that.
yeah,
A bit
man.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. So we work outside. The majority of our job was outside when we did this work.
Yeah.
So we had to go inside to check some fixtures. And he goes, "Oh, while you're in here, can you have a look at my toilet? It's not working." He slurred. He was sober, but he slurred still. He'd fucking
Yeah, right.
He was fucked.
He's
much do you
he's
think
still
you have to
drunk.
fucking
That's
drink?
that's how fucking.
Oh, mate,
fucked
like, I'm
up he got
talking
on it.
permanent brain shit. And I get
Permanent-
into this...
permanently cut. Yeah.
So I get into this bloke's bathroom, yeah, and nothing... To this day, I just don't understand. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. So his dog was old as shit. And by the way, this guy would have only been maybe pushing 60. So he wasn't old.
Right.
He was getting there, but he wasn't like a decrepit old man.
Right.
I'm noticing as the closer I get to the bathroom, there seems to be stains on the floor. He had a few dogs, and I was like, oh, it's probably just...
What type of dogs do you have?
They were like little shih tzu, fucking little yap
Right.
yap dogs.
Yeah, tiny legs, big bodies.
Yep. Big, cute, little, annoying meep, meep barks.
Funnily enough, they tend to take the worst shits as well. The little cunts.
Dude.
Yeah.
They'll come tell you about it as well. They'll be like, "Yeah, come check this out, you fucking loser,
Yeah, it's right in the lounge room.
you dog
Just
cunt."
here for you.
This is
Just
what you. This
watching.
is what you get for providing an evolutionary pathway to something like me.
Yeah.
You knob
this
dick.
is what you get for me for enslaving me.
Cutting my dick off. Yeah, you get fucking
Yeah, you
shit
you
everywhere.
tuck my balls, mate. I take the structural integrity of your carpet. It's a fair trade.
That's
It
fair
really
trade,
is.
man.
It truly is.
I mean, you gotta think about it in
can't
terms of
complain
what's
about
worth
that,
to
can
him,
you?
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Anyway, so go on. Yeah.
I'm walking down the hall, as I said before, these stains are getting worse, and I assume they're from the dogs. Turns out they weren't. So I get to the bathroom door, and the smell. I want to try and paint a word picture. The smell.
Does it? Okay. First of all, does it smell like shit?
Oh yeah.
No. As in, like, does it smell like something you would expect, like a variant of shit?
Feces to smell
Yeah,
like.
feces. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It
Come on,
was-
go on.
Now, how does it hit you? As you come closer, is it sudden? or is it a
as soon as I
gradual increase?
as soon as I crossed the threshold of the bathroom door, which was off its hinges, which was off its hinges, the smell hits
This house
me.
is as old as
It
Mayland.
was there one breath. It wasn't there with the first breath, and it was there with the second. That's how quick it gets me.
Right.
So I think I walk in and I just, whoa, fuck me, what's just happened? And I walk back out. I'm like, whoa, Jesus, where's the light, mate? And he fiddles around on the light, turns the light on. The wall had about, so picture the wall, but just a standard bathroom size.
Is it a whole bathroom or is it just a toilet by itself?
Think of,
Is there like a shower in there? Is it like a bathroom style or is it just like a solo toilet?
it's basically, it's a whole bathroom.
Yeah. There's a shower
Yeah, it's a whole
Bath,
bathroom. There's a shower and a bath
sink.
and a toilet.
and a toilet.
Yeah, it's small, but it's got the job done. So this light's on, and on each of the walls there was probably at least 5 cockroaches. I'm talking full big Pilbara cockroaches. On the walls, just walking around, on the floors, covered in cockroaches. And the toilet
Well, it's not working, mate.
It's not working. The diagnostic.
Can you have a look for us,
Who
mate?
would've
Toilet's
thunk,
not
yeah.
working. How long has it not been working for, bud?
Yeah, just the standard questions. How long has it not been working for? Oh, about 2 months. I said, yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And I said,
months.
what's exactly wrong with it? Oh, I won't flush. And yeah, okay.
Did you resist the urge to tell him why? Like, ask him why?
Was the next question been
Like-
taking a shit or being
Like,
holding?
where do you take a shit?
Well, I'll get to that right
Okay,
now.
yeah. So, yeah.
That didn't stop him from using the toilet. This is I'm fucking hand to God, man. This is a fair dinkum story.
Poor editor.
I'm talking. You know where the toilet seat is, yeah? I'm talking 20 centimeters above the rim of the toilet seat was shit and toilet paper. And so it basically looked
It was
as though
above the
it was
rim.
above the rim of the toilet. He
But-
just stopped.
Was this cunt squatting over it
The
or
flush
something?
did not work, so he just didn't flush it. And
Was
he
the
just-
seat down though?
No. The
No?
seat, it was full, man.
Poor.
It was full.
Oh.
So I've turned to him and gone, mate, what are you, what's this? What have you done? Oh, well, the flash didn't work. And that's how we talk. I felt fucking sorry for him because he was fucked, but not at that moment I wanted to punch him.
And that's when you went and got your shovel.
That's when I went and got the drain rods.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I don't know what a drain rod is. What's a drain rod?
So drain rods are literally rods,
As you-
about
as
a
you'd
metre long
expect.
each. You screw them together to form one giant rod, and you can plunge. It's a giant plunger.
But it's like a,
Okay,
a
right.
spring, right?
Some of them,
Sort
I know
of?
what you're talking about. Yeah. So they come in that. Some of them come in plastic rods, but it's all
Okay.
the same thing. You
Yeah.
spring them together, and you just go back and forward, and your rod drains, and you can turn it and hook shit and pull it out. So I've just started mincing it up, yeah.
Oh
So
my
there was no
God,
water in
dude.
the bowl
Oh my
at all.
God.
I have a photo of this on my old phone. I have a photo of the
shit.
aftermath.
You gotta send that to us.
I
by
will.
the way.
I have
That's,
fair income, man. I have a
Yeah.
fucking.
that's gonna be this episode's cover up. By the
I
way.
think that's gonna have to be. That's
Yeah.
When I get that.
Oh,
Anyway, so I'm
God.
mincing it up, and at this point, there's no water, so there's nothing to, in lieu of a better word, dilute the mixture. So I get a bucket of water, and I pour it on top, and it just cascades down the side and down on the floor. So this mixture was so solid.
Mount Shit
It didn't.
Zuvius.
It didn't even absorb any of it. It just fucking ran off it.
Yeah, Mount.
Like a fucking fur coat.
It was water off a duck's back.
Oh God.
Just off the
Holy
side. It
shit.
was hydrophobic. It was like a hydrophobic. Like I wanted to hit him up to get the patent for it because it was hectic, man.
I would pay for a cartoon.
Just building on that Mount Vesuvius joke.
Yeah.
Building on that Mount Vesuvius comment, Jesse. I can't let this slide. Mount Vesuvius really affected the people of Pompu.
Oh. Yeah. There we go.
Classic.
Get the
All right,
fuck
let's
out
wrap
of
it
my
up, boys.
studio,
That's about
cunt.
it.
That's the episode,
all
ladies
we
and gentlemen.
need.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
we can all just go now.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's cascades down. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a bit more. So much like when you create a lovely baked product, you
No, dude, don't fucking do that.
You-
to me,
Like a
man.
piping bag?
no, far grosser.
You fold it.
in the way that you'd prepare. In the way that
Like
you,
egg whites, dude.
Oh no,
yeah,
dude! What the fuck? No.
yeah, man. In the way that you'd prepare dough, prepare flour to be mixed with egg, you make a well in the middle, don't you?
Oh God.
So I used the drain rods to make a well in the middle. And
Can
I poured
you-
the water down there, and then it went down, and I minced it up until it looked what I can only describe as Bricky's mortar, but liquid. And the whole time, man, this fucking smell is completely beyond anything I've ever experienced.
Was it like sweet shit?
No.
No.
It was. It smelled like fucking poison, man. It was giving off legitimate gases.
Did you snag a couple toilet papers and just?
No,
shove it up
that's
your
for
nose?
gays.
No, fair enough. I guess. Yeah.
Nah.
Did you taste
My
it?
boss wouldn't never let me do that. He used to make me cut asbestos just in the roof.
Oh right. Oh.
We used to have to cut.
Right.
Side note: we used to have to cut asbestos roofs, asbestos eaves. Sorry, for drain vents.
I was about to call you a weak cunt, but then you hit me with that. Right.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and I'd be sitting there with a cloth over my face, just cutting it, and it'd all be dropping down and getting into my eyes and shit. Anyways, you just got the job done.
Hey, it's
didn't you?
alright. If it gets in your eyes.
Just got the job done, man.
Quick, you know.
Anyway, so I've got it
Quick
down to the
mention
point
though,
where
this is just a favor that you're doing for this dude.
It is.
He just kind of said, "Can you check
It
your
is, man.
Danny out?"
Really?
at
Yeah.
this point, yeah,
He
this
said,
wasn't
"Hey."
in any.
I thought he was just too
No.
cooked to be like. I thought you
No,
were
my-
doing a job there. That's
Oh,
No,
why.
we are.
while
We
you're
are.
here.
We were doing his sewer conversion.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was a favor from your boss to him. wasn't it?
No,
But
it's,
he
it's
just
a
came
while
out
you're
and
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
you're here.
And my boss was like, "Go sort it.
Right.
Go sort it. Hurry up." And at that point, before I started mixing it, I've gone up to John, my boss, and I've gone, "Mate, look, there's something up here." "Oh, fucking what? I'm fucking busy." Wasn't happy. Standard.
Yep.
Oh, fucking, I'll have a look then. Fucking useless cunt. Yep.
I mean, at this point, you've already made your well, right?
No, so this was before.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
at this point, I've walked in and walked the fuck back out.
And we've got a pretty good idea of the kind of person John is.
Yeah, so John
Let's
doesn't give a
preempt
fuck.
That, yeah.
You get the fucking job done and you hurry up too. He takes one look at this toilet, turns around and goes, "You do it." So anyway, so we're back where we left off. I've just got it below the rim, and I'm slowly stirring it,
and
it's
it's
going
mortar.
down.
Yep.
It's going down, and it's mixing.
You're manually flushing 2 months
yeah.
worth of shit.
Exactly right. And again, the smell is just unbelievable. The stains on the toilet will probably still be there now.
You didn't clean it for him.
It was, I didn't have any sulfuric acid on me.
Dude, that's fucked.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, continue. So it's going
it gets
down.
and I've now flushed it. So the toilet
Yep.
bowl has now got no shit in it, as per the design of the toilet. So I've flushed it, and it's now just water. And I was like, "Well, that was intense." And he's gone, "Well, yeah, it never flushed." Okay, so I opened the cistern.
Oh, so the cistern's the bit at the back for
The
anyone who
cistern,
doesn't
the
know.
cistern is the
It
tank.
holds the water.
The cistern is the
Yeah.
tank of the yeah. It's an old timey word for tank.
Well done, Jesse.
Hey, not everyone knows that.
Hey man, not everyone's a layman, man.
Yeah.
It's a
Some
good
people
point.
some people are intelligent.
I'll shut my fuck mouth.
Yeah, you shut up. and
Continue.
and yeah, so we got that done, and the toilet just needed a $20 part to be fixed, and it took about 10 minutes to change.
You reckon his shaky ass would have gotten it in there, but
Oh shit, no.
that's why that hasn't been.
No.
Do you reckon he can call
I said,
someone
"Mate,
to fix
why did
it?
you- I said,
Can't
why did you
even
keep-
hit the fucking buttons?
And I said to him, "Mate, what did you keep using the toilet for?" And he says, "I got a shit, don't I?" And I was like, "Well, you can't argue with that
Yeah,
logic.
it brings a valid point. Yeah.
You can't fit. Well, you've
Well,
fucking
when
you've
you've
stumped
been
me,
taught
old
where
mate.
to shit for 70 years, you're not going to change that up, are you?
You've stumped me with that one.
It's like right in the back of his like in that small part of his brain that's still functioning.
Oh,
Shitting is
man.
for the toilet.
Yeah.
Shitting is toilet.
Dude, that is absolutely horrendous. I mean, we
Yeah,
have to
man.
kind
So
of
that's-
change it. Like,
Yep.
we have to change tracks. What is the best thing about your job?
The best thing about my job is we run the wastewater plant at work, so it's basically learning how a proper wastewater system works.
But this is like industrial.
Oh yeah.
shit.
It does. Since we've started it, since they built the new one there for us, since we upgraded it, it's done nearly 50 million liters of shit.
So if you could explain it to a 12-year-old in 5 steps, how would you explain
A
it?
layman, if you will.
A layman, if you will. Poo goes in, air goes in,
Right.
air gets removed, chemicals get added, water gets diluted and sent out to evaporate.
So there's different points in
Oh, yeah,
in
it's-
the line where
it's actually
like,
quite
take this
complex.
shit out, put this shit in.
It's basically, it goes through, it gets aerated, chemicals are added, the shit is diluted, and then it gets sucked through a membrane,
Oh, through it like a cheesecloth, if you will.
like a cheesecloth. like
Or a robot.
like 120 grand cheesecloth.
Jesus Christ.
Fun fact, man. Do you know how they invented cheese?
Well, in fact, I do.
Oh, something to do with a guy dying while he's milking a cow. who
I
also
heard,
died.
I did hear from somewhere the guy died.
The guy died,
I-
and then a farmer came along and put his finger in the cow's ass, and
Well, that's how you taste. Taste test, right?
that's the cheese.
Well, you got to
That's
taste
cheese,
test,
right?
otherwise, what are you putting out there? You don't know what you're putting out there.
Well, you don't know what's going in either.
Now that I think about it, the discovery of cheese and plumbing actually go pretty hand in
They're
hand.
pretty much the same thing. Cheese creates shit, creates more cheese.
Funnily enough,
Exactly.
I've unblocked drains that people used to wash heaps and heaps and heaps of dairy products in, like old ice cream tubs.
That's a big
That
no-no,
is
isn't it?
So shit
disgusting.
and dairy mixed together in a blockage, man. That's what's made me throw up.
Actually, that's what I wanted to ask.
Oh,
Are you
man.
done telling us?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you actually is, as a professional plumber, what can you tell people not to fucking put
Paper
down
towels.
the drain?
And why? We need actual explanations because people are like, oh, you shouldn't put cat litter down the drain.
I lived with this chick, right, who was vegan, but she used to cook, just fry everything, right? So she'd have like fucking vegan shit like that she'd crumb up and then she'd fry it, right? And all this vegetable oil, and she'd chuck that shit straight down the drain.
Yeah.
Does that trigger you?
It doesn't trigger me because I can charge you money to do relatively simple
Actually,
jobs.
that's a good
a better
point.
question is, what should you be putting down your drain to keep you employed?
Well, what
Yeah,
I think.
okay,
Well,
yeah, good point.
so there's two really big things that are the main problem with municipal systems, and municipal systems are
What's a
municipal is large scale.
a medicinal.
Subdivision, like city level stuff where there's
Ed liked that one.
it's like a municipal of a school, like the boss of a school.
Oh,
Oh, so
true.
it's the-
Okay, that
it's the
makes
boss
sense.
of
Yeah,
boss of the shit,
plumbing.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think Mario.
Exactly.
I never thought about it like
Think
that.
Mario.
Remember the Japanese onto something?
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
exactly right, man.
Go
Yeah,
on,
so
sorry,
paper towels are a big one because they
Yeah?
don't disintegrate. Toilet paper is designed to disintegrate.
See, to me, intrinsically, I think to myself, paper towel doesn't go on the toilet because I don't wipe my ass with paper towel.
That's a good
What if you
philosophy
do
to have.
though?
See,
Hey,
if you have
man.
nothing else, I can see that, but it's too that's fucked up. Like your ass is gonna bleed in 2 wipes.
If you're talking like I'm talking proper
I'm not talking
high
from
quality. We're not
experience
talking
or
home brand.
anything.
We're not talking home brand paper towel, man. We're talking high quality Viva, stronger when wet shit, man.
Viva, fuck yeah.
Not only does it not disintegrate, it gets down there and it starts doing hell like pickle Rick shit. It just gets stronger when it's fucking soaked.
It-
And
it-
it's
By the
sort
way,
of-
this podcast is sponsored by Viva Paper Towel.
Yeah.
Does
Does
paper
it
towel
sort
for
of
you?
like become rope?
No,
Don't
doesn't
flush
become-
it down the
essentially,
toilet.
yeah. It becomes a solid mass. It's a flexible. It just blocks up, yeah.
I
It gets
heard
caught.
once upon a time there was like a university that put signs up everywhere to stop all the dudes jacking off in the showers because all the cum was like coagulating inside the pipes. Have you ever experienced
Please
anything
tell
like
me
that?
this isn't true.
It is.
Nah, see the way, and I'm very experienced with cum in the shower. It doesn't coagulate. It just keeps going. So the biggest problem with that would be cum not going down the drain and cum building up on the floor of the shower.
Right, and then
Which is just
eventually,
gross and
then
unhygienic,
eventually
yeah.
like going down the drain.
Yeah, and
So,
it gathers
so
soap and it
if
gathers-
it was gonna block a pipe, how many dudes coming in the showers each day do you think it would take?
I bet it's gonna be 748. Just that's my guess.
In my experience,
To block a drain.
64. But that was a
64.
heavy Friday. Man.
64 daily for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you,
It's
are
not
you
that
just,
much,
Are
really.
you just going off by like all the fucking chippies and sparkies like?
Well, I've seen the condition
like,
of some of the
each
worksite
day, like-
toilets, man. Well, Sparkies don't jizz in the shower; they jizz in men's bums.
Yeah.
No, I've got many friends that are electricians, and I respect your trade highly.
You know what? I think you mentioned this before actually. Sparkies and plumbers have a bit of a rivalry thing going on, aren't they?
Sparkies
Do they
and,
really?
Yeah.
Sparkies and plumbers have a rivalry in the same way.
By the way, sorry, I'm going to cut you off. For anyone who isn't a fucking Australian, a Sparky is an electrician.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
we probably
And a
should
plumber is a
simplify
mad cunt.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, mad cunt.
So
Yeah.
Sparkies and plumbers are rivals in the same way that. They're both the licensed trades.
Ash and Gary.
No, they're both licensed trades. Yeah, so we're
And where do carpenters fit?
carpenters fit on the roof.
Stay the fuck up there, cunt.
And in front of pokey machines.
Yep.
Right.
Ah, that's a good.
Yeah, that's
what about
pretty standard.
painters?
Painters are sick, man. Oi, painters, bro. If you want a fucking hookup for a bag, hit up the painters, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Fall
So
out
get in
out,
with the
eh?
painters.
Get in with the painters.
Don't bother talking to the chippies.
Nah,
Sparky,
chippies are mad. cunts.
We know a nostril painter, and now I think about you are fucking right on the money
Bro,
there.
painters
That's where you
are
get your
always
Yeah.
because one of their main jobs is preparing paints and using thinners. Yeah, fuck, man, you inhale acetone for a week, let alone 50 years. Talking to you, Scotty, you're gonna be cooked, man.
Yeah, man.
You're cooked, and in the best way. They're a lot of fun to drink with. They're a lot of fun to work with. I fucking rate painters, man. They're all mad.
Yeah.
All a bit tapped, but all really sick.
So what's the worst when you're on site and everyone's there? What's the worst trade to deal with?
In what way?
Just
in general.
Work around?
I mean, so you had to work with them, sort of, on something. You're both in the same area. You're both in each other's shit a little bit, but you got to do something.
I'm
they
gonna
got to do
venture.
something.
I'm gonna venture a guess here. It's roofies.
No, because they're always on the roof.
Good point. Yeah,
And
good point.
Other
to be
plumbers.
honest, man, it's all. I haven't done a whole lot of construction. I did it all when I was an apprentice.
Oh yeah, because obviously your main thing is.
Well,
industrial
usually when the
plumbing.
tilers are there, no one else is, because you can't tile a bathroom if there's dickheads on the floor. But plumbers and sparkies usually clash because we're both running shit in the walls
At the same sort of time.
at the same time in the same
Right,
areas. But you
okay.
work around. You just be a good bloke, and nine blokes out of 10 on the work site are sick.
Yeah.
There's rarely blues.
So have you had a bad run-in with another tradie?
I haven't, because when I was doing construction, I was an apprentice, so I just did my job and shut up
Yeah.
and smoked billies
Nice.
and made sick oxygen acetylene bombs. Me and one of the boys,
Yeah,
man, me and one of
sick.
the boys got up on the top floor of this construction thing we were building, these apartments. We just get a 2-litre bottle of Coke. We filled it up with acetylene and lit it on fire.
As you do.
It was the loudest thing I've ever heard to this date.
Really.
Oh, it scared the shit
How
out
the
of us.
fuck did you do this? Like from fucking 10,000 feet away, or?
No, we were dumb. We just lit
right.
it.
So you just put a
We
lighter
lit
up
it.
to
We
it
lit
and
a
were
stick
like-
on fire, and we had probably 1.5 meters. Yeah, so it blew apart, and it.
Tradesmen in Australia, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
we couldn't hear for like 2 hours, man. It was fucked. It was funny, but we were like, yeah, classic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
What'd
man.
you say?
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
went to the Leaderville Tavern, which was fucking don't go to the Leaderville Tavern.
Unless you're an apprentice.
Oh, bro, if you have got a mullet, you can go.
Yeah.
But if you
Basically,
don't,
that's the standard.
if you don't, you're gonna get. Where's your mullet, man?
Much like the Gosnells Tavern.
Oh man, the nickname for the Leaderville Tavern's the Seedy Lady. Yeah.
Yeah, all our international listeners are having a fat time right now.
Having a
Yeah.
fat
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
They love this shit, man.
Yeah, man.
They love the
So
lingo.
I have a question for you.
Mm.
Another question for you. How do you use your position, your professional position, to pull chicks as a plumber?
Well, I'm married, but in a
Before
world,
that.
in a situation that I'll completely make up. Basically, I walk up and I'm like, "Oi, I heard you've got a clog down below
Straight out.
that I can help you with. And then one of my mates, Phil, who follows me around with the boombox that plays 70s porn, it's just like, and at that point, if I haven't been slapped, I'm fucking well in, man.
Fuck yeah, man. How many you reckon you have to
And
go
failing
through
that,
for
I'll just say,
point?
"Do you like Coke?" And usually they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so one thing. So you touched on septic tanks before. In a previous episode, Jesse and I, I told Jesse about my understanding of septic tanks, and I was under the impression that, pun intended, they are dog shit. Like, they are shit.
Human shit.
Yeah, but they're not good. They're not, I thought that they were not good ways to store or fucking get rid of shit. Right?
They're fine if you're not near a main drain line. That's what you do. They're fine
But that's the thing. Why is it gone out of
because it's
out
better.
of style?
Because it's better to not have a giant tank of shit in your backyard.
See, that was my initial point. Was that
It's
why
like
would I want to have a giant tank of shit lying?
because there's no other option. So it's like
Right.
horses, man. It's like horses. Do we use horses every day now for everyday things? Do we need horses? No. Do people still use them for shit? Yeah.
as someone who isn't an American, why do you think the Americans still use them? Just off the top.
The Americans have drain lines. The Americans have sewage systems.
So this is the thing. Maybe I'm just
in
fucking,
cities.
Maybe I'm just too
A
old.
lot of
But
America's
picture
very
like, dude, people put septic tanks in still today.
Okay.
If you're not near, so what people do is they put a tank in. Now, usually what's done now is people will put a septic tank in, but they won't have what's called a leach drain. So,
If you could explain what.
what
a leach
happens
drain
is,
that'd be sick.
loosely explained, a septic tank. The first one is where all the shit goes in.
So
and then as
pipe
it gets to the
from
top,
your dunny straight to the
I'm
fucking.
talking
Yeah.
fresh,
Boom.
grade
Straight in.
A shit,
Into an underground concrete tank.
grade A liquid farts in an underground tank.
Quality farts.
Then as it goes up, it leaks into the next tank, and then as that fills up, it slowly just using the
I
level.
see. Yeah.
It goes down and down and down, and then when it gets to the end, it's mainly a liquid because all the solidy stuff is sunk to the bottom and floated to the top. So the liquid then goes out in a pipe and goes to a leach drain. Essentially, goes into the ground and evaporates, and that's how
Really?
the system works. And that's why they can continue indefinitely.
Because that
Right.
that was what I was going to ask you is why the fuck does it take 50 years for them to fucking get to need to be
Sometimes you
serviced?
don't need to
And because that's
because
why,
that's how
right?
it works.
Like it just takes Okay, you know what? Now I'm bashing myself because I actually think septic tanks are a really good invention now.
They
For,
are.
for what they were.
Oh man,
They sound like they were fucking tits.
they literally revolutionized.
I am sorry,
What I do
Seppos.
where
I
drainage is
regret
concerned,
everything I
They
said.
put it into a treatment plant, yeah.
What's that?
With drainage, that's not a septic tank. It goes into.
So
a
it goes
treatment
out of
plant.
your house, and instead of going to the tank, it continues down the drain to the municipal line, which is usually about 300 mil in diameter.
You were
So we-
talking
so we had a
about
bit of a
the
cut there.
difference between.
Sorry, with technical difficulties. So with the drain lines, so it goes out of your house into a drain line to the big drain, and then from those drains it goes to huge collection pits.
Right.
In those collection pits, 9 times out of 10, there's massive pumps. So these pumps weigh a couple hundred kilos, and they will they have what's called a macerator in the bottom, which is essentially an impeller.
So it's
They'll-
kind of like a blender, but
It's
for shit.
exactly right. It's a
Yeah.
shit blender, like a fucking
A
Kmart
shit
brown
blender.
epoxy blender that can barely
Oh,
cut
that
a
kind
fucking
of shit,
banana.
right?
Not affiliated with Kmart or partners.
Good for grinding weed.
Really good for grinding weed, man.
I would
So-
say they're a sponsor, but nah.
So
no
these
one likes
these
Kmart.
shit pumps, these impellers will fucking chew up tennis balls like with no issue.
Right, so they're actually
They're
pretty
fucking
going,
good. They're
yeah, okay.
bloody strong for all the drugs and shit that people flush down the dunnies. And then it just keeps getting moved and pumped up and moved until it gets to a wastewater plant. Some septic tank systems get picked up by a truck.
So how far do you think it could be moved before it hits its destination?
Indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man. Depending on, you look at a map of all the treatment plants in Perth or wherever you are, and then look at your house.
hundreds of k's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Fuck.
sometimes, man.
So underneath us, everyone just has shit running underneath them.
there's you can actually online. There used to be a place that you looked for a diagram of the sewage system of suburbs, of different suburbs in Perth, and it's extensive. It's extensive infrastructure underground, man. That's why you always dial before you dig. Sponsored by Dial Before You Dig. Do not dig without any approvals.
That's
Do
that's
not dig with
literally
the
something only an Australian would get. Don't bother asking us about that anyway.
So in Australia, you have to dial a number before you dig, so you don't hit anything.
So you don't just deal with shit; you deal with water, but you also
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with gas. Now, tell me about what that's like. You got anything?
That's when it gets a bit more. That's when you have to be a bit less cooked cunt. And a
I
bit
remember
more-
you were telling me that was like the last leg of your
Yeah.
of your apprenticeship was having to deal with gas.
Yeah,
gas.
Yeah,
gas, man. Yeah, man. It gets hectic. It's dangerous.
Jesse's very confused. What drugs are you on, cunt? Like he
Just chilling, man.
He just started. He
Hell
just
yeah.
started going gas,
Yeah, man.
gas, man.
Now,
Gas him up, boys.
gas him up. Gas him up. So you
Yeah, go on.
So
Tell us about the
gas.
gas.
So people think gas and they think extremely dangerous, but you think, what does a fire need to burn? It needs oxygen, a flame.
Thank
Sorry, what does fire need?
And an ignition.
Exactly.
Yeah. I am professional as fuck.
I got that wrong
Yeah. Yeah.
somehow.
What did you say?
I think you said oxygen, fire, and I said gas.
Gas, dude. Fucking gas, dude.
You need gas.
So you need a fuel, ignition, and oxygen. So when it's burning, you need all those things. So in gas pipes, in little domestic gas pipes, it's only a 1/2 inch, so it's 15mm pipe. There's no air in the pipe; it's only gas, which is why there's never an explosion in the line.
Oh,
Right,
true.
How that
okay.
works. Positive pressure. The pressure that gas runs into your house is, so to put it in perspective, the pressure that you get out of your kitchen tap is usually around 300 to 500 kPa, kilopascals, before, depending on where you live.
Right. Okay.
That's your average flow. Gas comes out of your pipe at 2 kPa, 2 to 3 kPa.
So at some point that gets lowered so that it's
Yeah, so
more safer,
out of your normal gas bottle, it's a couple of thousand.
Right.
It's
Okay.
Okay.
big pressure, big
Okay.
flow. But the regulator there does exactly what it says and regulates it. To 2 kPa, so the flow levels and the amount of gas that comes out is very low, which is why it's safe.
Right.
Obviously, it's not ideal to have gas seeping out because it will explode,
Right.
which isn't good. But yeah, so when you're working with gas, you gotta really concentrate.
I mean, so
Because if you fuck up doing a water pipe, if you forget to seal it, maybe you get wet.
So
You might damage your cupboard. If you do it with gas, you get fucking issues. When we do our gas fitting course, they tell us that the importance of doing all your tests for the burning and how it's working. Anytime you see a yellow flame, that's incorrect combustion and carbon monoxide is being formed.
true.
Okay, and
Right.
that's-
Something's getting burned
that's
off.
a-
That's why you see the
that's
colour.
bad news, Bears.
Oh shit, yeah. So in Perth, I believe it was in Perth, a plumber or a handyman hooked up a gas heater and didn't calibrate it properly and didn't set the temperatures, and it just pumped their whole house with carbon monoxide, lighter than air.
Oh.
Went upstairs, killed a family of 5 overnight.
Oh,
Wait, where
God,
was
dude.
it in Perth?
Well, it was somewhere in Australia.
Okay.
And that's where all the laws came in. That's why they're phasing out gas bayonets.
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
true.
This
There you
was a
go.
while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a while
Yeah,
ago.
no, I remember that shit.
Yeah,
Oh, that was fucking tragic as well. Yeah.
it was. But the beautiful thing,
Not the worst way to die, though.
It's not.
No,
That's
they,
why a
they
lot of
just would have
that's-
gone to sleep, right? That's what it does.
exactly
yeah.
right.
It's the equivalent of turning a car on, sitting in
Well,
the
that's
garage,
why
right?
people wrap their lips around the exhaust, right, on the car. Yeah,
exactly
it's
right,
a
man.
good way to go. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So yeah, don't commit suicide, guys. But if you're going to,
This,
you
pod-
heard it on TPL.
this podcast is supported by Suicide, sponsored by Suicide.
This podcast.
If you're gonna do it, wrap your lips
supported by
around
Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue.
It's not weak to speak.
To be honest, Beyond Blue is one of those organisations I would really like to have their sponsorship
Definitely.
at some point in
They
the
do
future.
some
So,
really good
so if we do get in touch one day, Beyond Blue, and you do hear this episode, suicide is a little bit funny in the right context, but no, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. There is
No.
a
Way to secure the biggest anti-suicide group in
But,
Australia.
They got a good sense of humor, I'm sure.
Hey, they're all lads, man. Yeah, they're all lads, and that's actually true because a lot of guys in Australia are very depressed. I think it comes with the whole rural aspect of living in a big fucking desert, and having to
Oh.
like worry about rain every now and then.
There's a lot to be depressed about these days.
This change of topic got really depressing, but like I am the best. Last thing, Samwise, I wanted to ask you about is there one thing? Is there anything that isn't like what's other things besides water and shit and gas that plumbers plumb? Is there anything else?
Well, that's essentially plumbing in a nutshell. We have black water, grey water, and potable water.
Right.
Black being shit, grey being sink and shower runoff, and potable being
Wait,
drinkable.
really? That's the official term for
Yeah.
shit is
Black water, yeah.
How did they get?
That's fair income too.
I mean, they could have gone with brown water, but I guess that's too on the nose, right? Like
Yeah, I think it's a bit. Yeah, like black water is
little
do
bit,
not
little
do
bit
not
of shit
drink.
on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Little on the nose.
Do you ever give any of your plumber mates a Hitler every now and then, like while they're asleep?
Cheeky
No,
little.
just stick your hand down a fucking like a camp fucking drain and just
Mate, that's frowned upon now.
Oh, is it?
No, you're not allowed to have fun. Not
Is
at
it?
the workplace.
Is it because you're painting frowning eyebrows on
Correct.
there with shit? Yeah.
Correct.
No, I
Well,
figured.
you work at a gas plant, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. So, what are the craziest regulations you have to deal with? Is there some stuff that you've had to learn or deal with where you're just like, wow, that's actual bullshit. Why the fuck am I spending all my time doing this? I'm sure there is.
Oh
like,
yeah, there's. I mean,
tons
it's all a part of working at a high risk area. It's a high risk place.
and sure, some of those regulations are there for a reason.
Well,
but is there
they
anything
all
that's
are.
there? Well,
So
okay.
basically, stuff.
Alright.
There's stuff there that's been brought in. There's been stuff in there there's stuff there that's brought in, because of people's fuck ups essentially.
Right.
So you're not allowed to bring your phones in, obviously, but you're not allowed to bring tablets in now either, or most tablets.
Why's that?
Meaning, sorry, iPads and shit
Oh,
like that,
okay,
not
okay.
pills.
But that's for security reasons, right? Like,
Exactly.
You don't want some terrorist getting fucking inside knowledge of.
Yeah,
a
exactly
fucking
right.
Gas plant.
Exactly right.
So you can't bring your phone in.
You can't bring your phone in, no. There's certain intrinsically safe phones,
Okay.
meaning that all the electronics are internal and they're not going to create an ignition source.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, there's you can't bring durries on. You can't. Oh, actually, that's a good one. You're not allowed.
They only made that a thing like what 10 so years ago. Like
You're not allowed to smoke cigarettes on the entire lease.
Wow, that
So,
stretches pretty far.
It
right?
does. It stretches to essentially.
The nearest town, or
No. So you have to basically go down the Withnell Way access road to smoke cigarettes because you're not allowed to smoke on their lease at all.
so for anyone who doesn't know where that is, how long do they have to drive before they can have a dart?
It's from the front gate. It's 5 minutes if that.
Oh, okay, right.
It's
So
not it's
big-
not a huge ask, but it's just funny to see.
At Smoko, there's 16 cars.
Exactly.
And each person.
Well, no, not at Smoko.
Oh,
at
true.
any time of the day, and then you drive up and they're like, "Oh fuck! Oh no, it's them boys." It's the plumbers from Sodexo, man. Relax. We're not gonna. Have you got a durry? Have you got a lighter? We forgot ours.
All right, well, Samwise, it's been fucking tits having you on, man.
Thank you for having
Definitely,
me.
you've
First
more than
statement.
educated everyone.
Exactly, and literally everything you heard in this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, you can go up to Kate and just she'll froth over it.
I think it's nice that everyone everyone needs a Kate.
Everyone needs a Kate.
Everyone needs a Kate.
Everyone needs a Sandra.
A Sandra.
Yeah, man.
Jess is sticking with the Sandra.
Sandra
better than
Bullock.
Kate.
Sandra Bullock, man. She's my forever and always.
Yeah,
See, we
nah,
talked about Sandra
yeah.
Bullock last when we mentioned this, and she's like, she was pretty
I will also be the
Must
first
be a
guest to
plumber thing.
storm out
kind of thing.
of this fucking place.
Right,
But I
That's
guess-
don't you touch my Sandy B.
definitely a plumber thing.
And then what?
All right, well, to cap everything off, we've got another segment, Samwise. We're gonna go through some news. We're gonna get your take on it as well.
Yeah, we want to say what you think.
I love discussing things I'm not qualified to.
So exactly, that's what the whole
Where all the
podcast
fun
is
comes from.
about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is TPL News. All right, Jesse, you got some news for us, man.
Yeah, man. I wanted to start off with something Australian that everyone's going to really enjoy.
Boring.
As if this
Makes me
hasn't been
feel safe.
Australian enough. Google Maps asked to stop users walking on Uluru through Street View function.
Wait, what?
Google Maps asked to stop users walking on Uluru through Street View function.
So
So
you're saying people going to Uluru on Google Earth and virtually
yes, exactly. So the traditional landowners, we'll call them, requested that the images be taken down promptly because tourism, as some people might know, you're not allowed to walk on Uluru anymore because it became really popular, and it is a sacred site, and fair enough, you can't walk on it, Big Rock.
And that was pretty recent. That was only a
But
couple
now
years ago.
you can't virtually walk
Not
on
even.
Big Rock.
That just blows my fucking mind.
I'm gonna go on Microsoft Flight Simulator and fly a fucking 747 into it.
Oh, shit.
They might ask for that to be removed too.
Samwise, honestly, if you wanted to fucking just fuck some people around, just YouTube it. Just YouTube yourself just landing a 747 on top.
Funnily enough, man, Microsoft released a statement
Really?
requesting adamantly that people stop asking them to allow modders to put the Twin Towers back in New York
Dude.
purely so people can fly into them.
It was enough that they had to make an official statement to address it, to be like, dude,
It's not gonna happen.
we
Modders-
can't put them in.
Dude, there was a
Like-
mod going in like the first week. New York City, 2001, September 10th.
Because there's 400 upcoming Twitch streamers all doing the exact same thing. Hey guys, hey chat, where do you want to go?
And of course, chat's like, fly into the Twin Towers. Classic.
That's a golden
Like,
ray of sunshine. That is the.
It's-
is
to
the
me-
show that is 2020.
Yeah, man.
To me, it's just the epitome of comedy.
Yeah.
Like the
By
fact
the way-
that it took modders a week to recreate New York from the ground up just to add 2 towers. It was fantastic.
You can
but-
imagine the effort that went into it. The rest has to
Oh.
be authentic, otherwise the towers don't matter.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, man. But that's my take on that. I think that's silly.
That's funny as.
I think
fuck.
that's. I don't think.
By the way, I mean, okay, in terms of enforcement, what are they gonna? Are they gonna
You're talking about Uluru now?
Yeah,
Yeah. So what are they going to do?
What are they gonna do?
Well, I mean, basically from the article, it was just, remove them.
Just finger wag.
Remove them. Yeah.
Right.
Or, Department of Park.
Remove them or Uluru?
The images.
Look, to be honest,
The
Bert,
Department
I dare
of Parks.
say,
Bert.
I said Bert.
No, you said, did he? No, he didn't.
So,
I said Bert the second time.
That's alright. That's all right. Hey, you said Bird at least once. Anyway, go on.
I do think it'll be. I don't think they'll be removing Uluru.
I mean, it's too much. Okay, if they remove Uluru, they're gonna have to remove what's the fucking Muslim Mecca? They're gonna have to remove Mecca, because I know exactly what's gonna happen as soon as people get the idea that
Just fly into the Hajj.
Muslim 9/11.
Oh man, that we're getting into some dicey shit now. Getting into some real dicey shit.
Fly straight into that black square, that meteorite from the heavens, boy. Yeah, this is our last step, so we're getting cancelled.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Would
I
you like
can't
another
wait-
one?
I can't wait until Cassidy, the blue-haired girl from bloody Murdoch, hears about this.
It's alright. It's okay, alright? The people who flew the planes into the Twin Towers were Saudi Arabian, okay?
Oh, okay.
They weren't Muslim.
Okay, thank Christ. So what? We should.
This is the
So
point
we
of
should
the
be
show
pissed
where
off with
we're
Iran.
a bit- Oh yeah. Soleimani, man, that was the guy behind everything. Let's get the fuck away from this one.
Jesus Christ. Do you want a shovel? So, boys, Tom Cruise is going to space.
He's going to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, what did this?
His stunts are getting out of control, man.
Yeah, he's actually
Is this
filming a
one-
movie.
Is he
Okay,
hanging?
I
Is
was
he
gonna
hanging
say
off
it's
the
for-
side? He's hanging off the side of a rocket.
So Tom Cruise is going to film space in going to space to film in 2021 with the help of Elon Musk.
Man,
Who else? We've already talked about how hectic Elon Musk is.
So apparently, according to the article, there's no movie title or plot, but the director and Tom Cruise will be flying up in the first somewhat public SpaceX mission
So that's pretty sick. I mean, okay, look. Here's the first thing I'm
to
gonna
film
say.
a movie.
Here's the first thing I'm going to say about Tom Cruise. Really good actor. I don't care what anyone says. The first good performance.
Yeah, how
I've
good's
seen
Mission
out of-
Impossible and 2 and 3? They're all
I've
so
never
good.
seen that
and
dog
Tom
shit.
Cruise goes to space.
Yeah, can't wait for Tom Cruise space.
I've seen Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, and he's fucking good in Tropic Thunder.
True.
Yeah.
Big true.
He is good in Tropic
Big true.
Thunder.
Alone.
And I've seen him try to act like he's actually 6 foot. Sometimes he actually pulls it off as well.
Imagine being that tall.
God, he's a shit
Actually, he'll be
cunt.
perfect for going to space. He's the right height.
I don't think there's a, I don't think there's a height requirement, man.
Yeah, there's lots of Russians up there. You're probably
required
right.
to be a fucking built cunt to get up into space as well.
No, well,
No, I don't
they've
think
got
that's
like
true.
they'll have like hell Russians up there named like Yuri and shit.
I love that it's 2020 and you guys aren't surprised Tom Cruise is going to space.
Bro, anything is possible. The net. Wait, dude, do you know?
It's
the
gotten
chick
to the
who
point where
plays-
no one's surprised anymore.
Bro.
Oh, okay. I guess that was coming, right?
Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and the Furious franchise accidentally leaked that the next Fast and the Furious movie will have parts in space.
Oh,
And I'm just like,
I heard that from.
and I'm just going over my head of The Rock and Vin Diesel
in
having,
space.
just like fucking stuck in the vacuum of space.
In
sucked
cars,
in
drifting.
in cars, man, but just like shooting normal guns, and the guns aren't working and shit, and fuck it, and then The Rock is like, nah, fuck this, and just like dives out of his car because it's space. He doesn't actually get a purchase,
Yeah.
so he kind of just goes, and he's just like getting sucked through space, but then he fucking starts swimming, and he fucking like, and he fucking crashes down, and he goes back to Earth, and he's like a fucking rocket. And there's like atmosphere pressure, and he's like,
And he thinks he's going to die, but then Vin Diesel's like fender comes off and he catches
Bro,
it
but then out of the
mid-space and
fucking
throws
thing-
it, and then
And
the...
then he enables his antimatter
Yeah.
thrusters and just fucking takes him out.
and
just
at this
straight
point, I'm like, Fast and Furious 10 looks sick.
Yeah, fuck yeah, keen as.
Like the first Fast and the Furious was them like being sick and building cars and street racing and shit, and now The Rock, man, and now the fucking Rock is just beating people with engines and shit.
and beating people with like
Man.
he could actually just land an engine on someone.
Jason Statham in the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, sick movie by the way, really good movie. Jason Statham and The Rock fight a cybernetically enhanced Idris Elba. I was like, fucking sign me the fuck up, and I had no regrets, man. Movies in space, good. Tom Cruise in space, better.
All right. And there you go. It's been said.
All right, well, I got one that was graciously provided to me by Jesse because I didn't bother to get a news, but
But hey, it's a good one.
it's a good one. He gave me a good one. So, us too. Why haven't more black women been sexually harassed?
I'm not touching that one. You guys go for your fucking life.
It's cold.
I think I know the reason why. I mean, it might have had something to do with the mecha joke I made just before, but so
It was an article by this dude called Byron.
Anybody wears, he just strikes me as the kind of guy to wear a turtleneck, man.
And it was written in 2017.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's why I gave it to you, because I wanted you to have a look at it. I thought you would get a
Alright,
good kick out of it.
So this article starts off with quote, internets. I mean, we've got to be culturally hip here, right? We are talking about sexual harassment.
Yeah, so yo, what up, internet?
Yo, what up, fellow kids? Have you heard about?
It's like sitting on a chair, like with the seat part in front of you, like hanging over. It's like,
Hit me, baby,
his
one more
hat's
time.
turned fucking
yeah, and his
sideways.
hat's to the side, and he's like, "Hey
It's
kids,
at a 45 degree.
hey kids, I'm one of you."
Internets. No one wants to be sexually harassed in the workplace, but everyone would like to think that they're worthy of being sexually harassed in the workplace. When I was sexually harassed at White Castle back in the mid-00s...
By some stone dude.
His name was Kumar. Actually, that's pretty racist. Why would you even do that, Samwise? Come on. Causing me to walk off the line mid-shift. It was one of the most difficult times of my life, but it was nice to know that someone wanted to take advantage of me.
That's the most contradictory.
I'll be the first one to make to light because honestly, it's a little bit hot. There are a lot of women out there that have rape kings, a lot more than you actually would think, right?
So you're with Byron.
I'm with Byron here. I'm saying that.
Ed, you just want to go ahead and hit that stop button, and we'll pick up later. Just to save you some cutting. Just to save you some cutting later.
I want to make some money off this fucking thing.
Honestly though, this is a really weird phenomenon. Like, okay, people are getting sexually harassed, why can't I get sexually harassed in order to feel better about myself?
Although I don't want to be sexually
I
harassed.
just want people.
I just want to. I want
sexually
people to
harass me.
want to sexually harass me. Is that so much to fucking ask?
Okay, here's the thing.
Don't sexually harass me.
Man, have you
but
seen?
almost sexually harass me,
It's,
so that I feel almost sexually harassed. But don't do it.
At this point, I feel like that when people who have this kind of stance of you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, do this, do that, say these words, don't say these words, I feel like these people are secretly trying to just torture themselves into someone just trying to do the thing to them that they don't want, that they say that they don't want them to do.
Isn't it insanely meta for Byron in 2017 to be like,
Dude, he's
hey,
ahead of his
make
time.
sure you
To be-
equally sexually harass
To be
people.
fair, man,
Like,
that's-
don't do it.
He was ahead of his time. You just
Ahead
said
of
that.
his
He
time,
was
man.
because now it's meta.
Yeah.
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 So
Now
you're
it's meta.
you're right. That's
So hearing about it now,
Fucking-
it's not that
fucking
crazy.
gorgeous.
But back then,
motherfucking Byron, man.
What the
Byron
fuck, bro?
Byron 2024, man. What
Yeah.
shit?
Implying Ivanka's not going to get in.
Oh, implying there's going to be a world to rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Well, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
so,
this is a bit of a different episode. We're trying it out. It's new, and we're very, 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 very happy to have you on as the first layman.
It's
Exactly.
been
We couldn't have picked anyone
You've-
better.
It's
You've
been
given
an
us
honour.
You've given us a different format to go with that I think is going to be a staple in future episodes to come.
You've overeducated our listeners.
Honestly,
Well, that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a
Honestly-
false sense of fact, so they go and argue incessantly with half knowledge.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
No, I know what a fucking set.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin Bacon was in Footloose, man. No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't.
I don't think he was, eh?
Dude, Brendan Fraser, the Mummy. He was in all three of them. No, he wasn't.
He was in 1 and 2.
He was in number 3 too. No, he wasn't.
Don't think so.
No, but he wasn't.
No, it was in Airheads, but it wasn't in the Mummy.
No, fucking
He
wasn't.
was.
He was George of the Jungle, man. But old Brendan Fraser. No, he wasn't.
Oh, are you talking about the Mummy with Tom Cruise? Yeah, no, he was in that.
No,
Yeah.
he wasn't. No.
Brendan Fraser was in space.
I
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Is it?
Holy shit.
Just swing around on a fucking cable or flight hanging off the International Space Station. By the way, unpopular opinion, the Mummy out of the latest Mummy movie was actually kind of hot. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Was that Tom Cruise, Mummy?
She's technically not dead because she's been.
Well, where's the fun in that? If I wanted to fuck a live chick, well, I just do
I
that.
don't get you necrophiliacs. There's no fun. in
It's
it.
not necrophilia. I just like a cold root. Sue me.
Well, I mean,
Put
most
her in a
condoms.
fucking
right.
bathtub full of ice, alright? That is your necrophilia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Professional Layman's Podcast. Get fucked, sis.
And on that bombshell.
Yep.
Yep.
The professional layman's.